Season 8 of Dana White Contender Series just wrapped up this Tuesday, and today I'll be going over the top 10 prospects of the season. Look, I have some honorable mentions I want to go over because they missed the list, but I still like them, and they're very close. The first one I have is going to be Malcolm Wellmaker. Look, this guy's big power. He's from Georgia. I like him a lot, man. He hits like a truck. He's a big bantamweight as well. Elusive striking. He's fun to watch, and definitely a guy that is great. I really wish I could put him here. Cody Steele, a really good wrestler, BJJ guy, showed off his hands in his Contender Series fight. Looked pretty good. And one of my favorites, man, Jose Delgado, fought on the first episode. I really like his game, man. Long, rangy, kind of reminds me of a Julian Erosa. Submission game's great, as well as dangerous striking. Without further ado, man, I'm going to get into my top 10. Coming in at the number 10 spot, I have Quillen Salkid. So this guy fights out of Australia. He got a win versus Gage Young, who is a guy who I expect to see in the UFC, a very good fighter. The reason I don't have this guy higher is due to his cardio. He gassed out a little bit, which I don't like to see, but when it comes to the skill set, man, he's fantastic. He's a super long and rangy welterweight with great kicking game and, a great body shots. He really showed that off, and a great wrestler at that. There was one combination in his fight versus Gage Young that was crazy. He did a switch kick into 2 body hooks, and then he took him down. It was so slick and clean, man. This guy's got a lot of potential. I really enjoyed watching him. I rewatched his fight versus Gage Young, and it's just beautiful striking as well as beautiful takedown entries. Like I said, he gassed out a little bit. But look, the guy he fought is Gage Young. I expect to see him in the UFC pretty soon. So, yeah, man, Quillen Salkid is a fun fighter to watch. I really liked his game a lot. I can't wait to see what he's going to do. So he's at number 10. At the number 9 spot, I got Jacoby Smith. This dude wrestled at the University of Oklahoma State. Man, his wrestling is great. He fought up at welterweight, but he's actually a lightweight. He said he didn't cut any weight to make welterweight. If he's a lightweight, man, this dude's going to be a problem. He is fucking chiseled. He's ripped, all right? He's strong. He's athletic. His striking didn't look incredible, but he's not one of those wrestlers that comes in and just can't strike. You know what I mean? When those D1 wrestlers come in and they just don't know how to strike, he actually looks pretty fluid on the feet. And, he's still got a lot to work on, but the dude can really wrestle, and his pace and his strength is really good, man. He beat the hell out of some dude. That dude's probably delivering my food right now. Actually, I don't even know who the guy was, but he beat the hell out of him, and it was a really impressive performance. I believe he was minus 950 coming in the fight. He killed this dude. But Jacoby Smith's wrestling, his pressure, his ground and pound, he had that one viral takedown where he kicked the dude's leg out beneath him when he was on his back, or I don't even know what it was. It was crazy. But he's definitely a really good fighter and a problem for a lot of lightweights. At the number 8 spot, I got Dr. Nergaze. So this guy I actually had on my top 5 prospects to look out for. He comes in and gets a head kick knockout. I really talked about his head kicks because they're insane. He's a light heavyweight. He's a little bit undersized. Reminds me a little bit of Azamat Murzakanov, where he's just really skilled, but he's just kind of chubby a little bit. But this guy's really fast. That's the thing. His head kicks are super fast. His kicking game's fast. He's a southpaw. He's a pretty good striker, but he can wrestle as well. I think he's from Kazakhstan. He's really good, man. I really liked watching him on, his film and watching him go to the fight and get it done. He was it was a close underdog. I think he was a minus 120, I think, which I didn't get, but he's a good fighter. I'm really excited to see what he can do in that light heavyweight division. He's really skilled. He's fast. I don't think his boxing is fantastic, but the dude can wrestle, and his kicks are so fast. His footwork's really good as well. I think this guy's going to be a problem for a lot of those, light heavyweights outside of the ranking. He probably, I'm not going to lie, you put him and Khalil Roundtree in the octagon, I think he beat Khalil Roundtree right now. So this dude's got a very bright future, and I think, he's looking really, really problematic. Coming at the number 7 spot, I got Islam Dulatov. Man, people were talking about this guy like crazy, and he really showed why he's that good, man. He landed a fucking bomb of an elbow that put the guy out cold. It was a brutal, brutal knockout, and he was pushing the pace in that first round like crazy, landing crazy combinations. He's a 6'3" welterweight. He's a big guy, and he's vicious, man. He really is vicious. He's got a pretty solid ground game on top of that. But, man, this guy's coming to take your head off in the first round. He is brutal. I think probably, a good matchup for him for his first fight would be someone like Tony Ferguson, someone he can just steamroll, and he'd probably put him out cold in the first couple of seconds. But Islam Dulatov is a fantastic fighter, man. I love the way he fights. No matter what, even if he has a couple of losses, he's always going to be fun because the guy is fucking reckless and brutal. And I really want to see what he can do in the UFC, man. I'm excited to see this guy. So, yeah. Coming in at the number 6 spot, another guy I had on my top 5 guys to look out for is Talixin Teixeira. This dude is a fucking behemoth of a human. He is like 6'8", like 260. Man, he's huge. But look, he's got a black belt in jiu-jitsu and he prefers to stand up. He's a really good athlete. You know, the guy he fought on the Contender Series wasn't so great, and he was kind of getting tagged up, but it looked like it looked like, someone hitting like George Foreman, where he just keeps walking forward. It doesn't even matter, right? Dude, he put the dude out cold with a right hand, and it was very brutal. He's going to run through that heavyweight division, man. I don't know. He has high kick knockouts, and he's 6'8", 250. He's a big boy, okay, as well as a great ground game as well. This guy's going to cause a lot of problems at heavyweight, man. They'll probably give him someone like Jake Collier, a scrub, first fight, and he'll probably get rid of him in about 2-3 seconds. He would beat a guy like Robelis Despain easily, submit him in the first. But he's a really good fighter, man. I'm excited to see what he can do, especially at heavyweight where there's not that much depth and talent. He's going to run through guys. So I definitely think we'll see a lot of Talixin Teixeira in the future. So I got him at number 6. For the number 5 spot, I got Mansour Abdul Malik. And I haven't seen enough people talking about this dude, okay? Man, he wrestled at the University of Maryland. First of all, I want to say that. But his striking is good. It is really good, okay? The dude he fought, Wes Schultz, man. I can't sit here and tell you that dude's a good fighter, but he's got heart, I guess, but he's a funky guy. But look, Mansour Abdul Malik, insane wingspan. His reach is like ridiculous. I think it's like 80 inches, and he's a fucking massive middleweight. He's huge. He's really big. With that wrestling pedigree, man, his striking's good. He hits like a truck too. His cardio looked good. I don't know what else to say, man. I have not seen enough people talking about this dude, and I don't understand because he's got that wrestling background. His striking looked really good. His high kicks looked good. His power shots were big, man. He was throwing some heat, and he he took a couple years off Wes Schultz's life. It was a bad beating. But I'm excited to see what this guy can do, bro. There's no doubt in my mind this guy will definitely crack the rankings. I mean, he probably goes in there. He probably beats like a guy like Marvin Vettori right now. A 5-round fight, I think he could finish Vettori. He hits like a truck. I'm excited to see what this guy can do. I think he, like I said, beats Marvin Vettori, so I got him at the number 5 spot. Coming in at number 4, I got Cody Haddon. So Cody Haddon already fought. He fought last weekend versus Dan Argueta and got a very impressive win. Dan Argueta, for your UFC debut, is not really an easy fight. Dan Argueta is a guy who's going to come out there and shoot a million takedowns and keep shooting. He's a bit of a goofy fighter, but I'm impressed by that win, but the win on the Contender Series was super impressive as well. He goes out there and knocks out Billy Brand, and Billy Brand I was high on. I thought Billy Brand would be a really good fighter and give Cody Haddon a tough fight. Billy Brand went to a decision with, Peyton Talbot, or no, I think he got knocked out in the 3rd, but he was winning the fight versus Peyton Talbot. Billy Brand was. He's a really good fighter, and I expect to see him, but Cody Haddon put him away easy. Look, Cody Haddon's takedown defense is brick wall, man. The dude cannot get taken down. He fought Steven Erceg on the regional scene and got taken down a couple times, but it's Erceg, man. Haddon's got fantastic boxing, fantastic combinations. He knocked Billy Brand down and then choked him out. This guy's actually really, really good, really solid. And coming out there and beating Dan Argueta 30-27 is not a joke, man. This guy's really, really good. I like to see him return that fast to the octagon. I think this guy's going to cause a lot of problems and definitely, shake up that bantamweight division even more. He'll be a ranked guy for sure in the future, without a doubt. So Cody Haddon, for me, is number 4. The number 3 spot, I got Austin Bashi. This is another guy I had on that list, top 5 to look out for. He's real good, man. He's real good. He's only 23 years old, I believe. And this he's good, man. The only knock I have on him is that he's like 5'2", maybe, and he's fighting at 145. He's got to cut to 135. But other than that, man, this dude is dominant on the ground. He almost like, when he was shooting hella takedowns and he did not get tired at all, and he eventually got the submission off, but he was making that dude work, and I was really impressed. I mean, this guy has pedigrees in IBJ, whatever you call that shit, in jiu-jitsu. He won that. He's a pretty good striker. I just worry about his, how small he is. But, bro, this dude on the ground, I think, he great wrestling entries, great takedowns, fantastic cardio. He reminds me of Merab. I don't even want to say it like that, but the way he was shooting those takedowns with so much volume and not getting tired at all and pushing the pace, it reminded me of Merab with finishing ability, right? And I think Austin Bashy's a hell of a fighter. He's 23 years old, man. He's got a lot of time. I really hope he goes to 35 because he is, like I said, a little bit small for the division. But man, from what I've seen of this guy, man, he's beating good guys on the regional scene as well. He's a problem because he's got fantastic jiu-jitsu with fantastic wrestling and, solid hands. So I think Austin Bashy will absolutely be ranked. I just hope he moves down a weight class. Coming in at the number 2 spot, I got Kevin Vallejos, man. This dude is 22 years old. He fights out of Argentina, and his opponent was Cam Teague. He beat the hell out of him. It should have been you, Luke Riley. You know what I mean? Luke Riley's a training partner of Paddy Pimblett. I was talking shit to him on Twitter. He pussied out of that fight, and I hurt his feelings a little bit by calling him Paddy's water boy. I hurt his feelings. He got a little upset. But anyways, that fight, I wish would have happened because it would have been a lot better. But Cam Teague got his ass kicked. Vallejos landed like 28 combos to the body or some bullshit, man. He beat him real bad. It was an incredible performance, man. He's a very crisp boxer. You're not going to see any better boxing, almost like Ilia Topuria. I'm not even joking. His boxing is similar to Ilia Topuria's, man. Crisp, powerful shots. He went to a decision with Gene Silva on the Contender series before. It was a very close fight, but he's 22 years old. He was 21 years old in that fight. This guy's got a very bright future, man. I can't wait to watch him. I'm a huge fan of him. I really love his game. He has great leg kicks on top of the insane boxing. He hits like a truck. This guy's going to be a very big problem for anybody. I think he's going to make his debut very soon. I can't wait to watch the guy, man. I think he's a I think he's a future top 5 contender. He is a fucking problem. All right. So I have Kevin Vallejos at the number 2 spot. Coming in at number 1, I got Lonier Kavanaugh. Man, this dude, bro. So in my top 5 fighters to look out for, he was number 1. He comes out there, episode 1 of the Contender series, fight number 1, and lands a fucking check hook bomb. Puts Antoine Ho out cold. And Antoine Ho is actually good. He trains out of the MMA lab. He is going to be in the UFC eventually. I will go out on a limb and say this. That Lonier Kavanaugh is the best striker at 125, okay? He's already got a fight booked for the China card. He is an incredible striker, all right? I said that in my top 5 video. You go back and I said he is going to be the best striker at flyweight. I said that. Please go back and look at it. I called it. This dude is a fucking problem. He's got insane low kicks, both sides. He switches stances a lot. His check hook, I talked about that in the video. His check hook is a beauty. He put Antoine Ho out cold with it. Okay, he's got great kicks. His head movement is fantastic. His footwork is fantastic. There is no better striker in the flyweight division than this guy. And he's young. He's just got into the UFC. He is the best striker in flyweight. If you want to watch some entertaining and fantastic technical striking, go watch him, man. I was amazed by watching his fights. His footwork, power, straight shots, kicks. I'm glazing, but it's true. All right? I can't wait to see what this guy's got. Because I called it, right? I knew, when I saw a striker of this caliber, man, I know he's going to thrive, all right? Man, any flyweight, Urseg, Cara France, fucking Kaya Skura, nah, this dude is the best striker at flyweight, and he just arrived, all right? That's going to be it for me. I hope y'all boys enjoyed, and if you did, man, subscribe to your boy, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.